Hello, my name is Jarrett Dunn, and this is my finals presentation for Miss Matherlys' class. My topic of choice was ocean acidification. So what is ocean acidification? Well, most people actually don't know what it is, but it's exactly what it sounds like. It's the oceans becoming more and more acidic. Now, this is a very big issue, partly because most people don't know it's an issue. It's such a big issue, in fact, that scientists have called it the evil twin of global warming. Oceans take in roughly 25% of all the carbon dioxide in our atmosphere, and we've been pumping carbon dioxide into the air for roughly 200 years or since the start of the Industrial Revolution. This carbon dioxide is absorbed and dissolved into the oceans. All those years of carbon dissolving into the oceans has started to add up, and we are starting to see the effects of it. So how does ocean acidification work? Well, it's one big chemical reaction. Carbon dioxide dissolves into seawater to form carbonic acids. The carbonic acids break further into hydrogen ions and bicarbonate ions. Bicarbonate ions break into more hydrogen and more carbon ions. Both carbon and hydrogen ions increase the acidity of the water. So why is ocean acidification bad? Well, when the acidity of the water is too high, coral reefs cannot survive in it, and they will start dying. And in turn, that affects the tourism surrounding it. It affects the fish living in it. It affects the source of food that is gotten from that reef. And not only that, but it affects shellfish because of the way that their shells are composed and the chemicals in it. They're uh, they're reactive to the rising acid levels. Also, the economy can get hit by or affected by ocean acidification because it can affect the population of fish and shellfish. And if there's less fish being caught, then there's less money being made. So coral bleaching. Coral bleaching is when coral dies from there being too much carbon in the water. Now, Australia is gonna have to look out for carbon levels because their Great Barrier Reef, which is one of the seven natural wonders of the world, is currently 90% bleached, and that is a huge tourism aspect of Australia. In fact, it brings in $3 billion, over $3 billion a year in revenue just from tourism alone. Also, the ecosystems surrounding the coral reefs die, and the fish that used to live in the reefs have to go find another home, and this can affect the population and also can affect the fishermen around the area because they're not going to be able to find the fish anymore. Shellfish are pretty vulnerable to these rising acid levels because their shells are eaten through by the rising acid levels. And young shellfish die within 2 days because their shells are eaten away before they can properly form. The shellfish industry can get hurt by this because, well, there's less shellfish, so therefore less profit. So the fishing industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and combined with tourism and everything, it hovers around $100 billion worth of revenue. So how acidification hurts this is that coral reefs die off, and then the tourism surrounding those reefs falters, and they start losing revenue. Also, the acidification will scare off the fish, and they'll have to go find a new home. And then all of a sudden, those places that fishermen are used to going to are all of a sudden not there anymore. And all of a sudden, they're catching less fish, which becomes another problem. And they're making less money off that way. Also, because of how many people are employed by tourism and the fishing industry, if they have to start laying people off, that can have a big impact on the local economy and the world's economy as a whole too, depending on how big the impact is. So ways to help and ways to fight acidification is raise awareness of it. A lot of people don't know about it. supporting bills, like calling your senators and saying, "Hey, I support this bill." Uh, Anything to help the environment or pollution. Using less energy and recycling helps a lot too. Uh, Using electricity produces carbon dioxide into the air, and that gets absorbed into the oceans. And then you can also donate, join, or support to pro environment organizations like the Environmental Protection Agency, the National Resource Defense Council, and the National Science Foundation. They're all advocates of the oceans, and they are fighting to get them clean. My works cited. That's it.